India is a land of dreams, and a lot of these dreams are formed during the long journeys on the illustrious trains of the Indian Railways. The Indian Railways is the lifeline of India, crossing distances as well as bridging the boundaries of many cultures throughout India. It unifies over 100 crore people in India, and over 13 lakh employees work round the clock to keep it alive and going. It touches the life of everyone, and nothing is more part of India than the Indian Railways, and it is certainly India's soul. Trains of Indian Railways run primarily on three types of gauges: broad gauge, meter gauge and narrow gauge. But in fact, there are four types of gauges present in Indian Railways. Most common and widely used gauge is the broad gauge, which spans about 62,891 km of route length, or 94% of the routes. Second most common gauge is the meter gauge, covering 2,839 km of route. There are two types of narrow gauges found in Indian Railways. The wider 2 feet 6 inch narrow gauge line is used in Kalka Shimla Railway and Kangra Railway, while the narrower 2 feet narrow gauge line is used in Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, Matharan Hill Railway and Gwalior Light Railway. East Indian Railway number 22, or popularly known as the Fairy Queen, is a steam locomotive that is the world's oldest steam locomotive that is still in regular service. The locomotive was manufactured in England in 1855 and imported to India and entered service the same year. The Fairy Queen served many routes throughout its early years until its decommission in 1909. In 1997, after 88 years of remaining out of service, the locomotive was restored to full working order and returned to commercial service. The train currently runs occasionally between New Delhi and Alwar. Thiruvananthapuram Silchar Superfast Express is a weekly train between Thiruvananthapuram and Silchar. It holds the record of being the most delayed train on the Indian Railways network, being delayed by an average of 10 to 12 hours. Although there are many reasons that contribute to its poor track record, the train is the second longest train service and the longest superfast express train service in India, travelling 3,932 km from its origin to the destination. The longer distance the train travels, it's more likely to get delayed. Add to that the climate change that the train has to go through from travelling from northeast India to the south. Another reason for its delay is that the train reverses direction of travel 4 times during its journey, and locomotives are changed a total of 3 times. As of 2020, there are 4 train routes in India that run across the international border. Old Delhi Lahore Samjhauta Express and Bhagat Ki Koti Karachi Thar Express run between India and Pakistan, and Kolkata Dhaka Maitri Express and Kolkata Khulna Bandhan Express run between India and Bangladesh. Due to the rising tensions between India and Pakistan, both Samjhauta Express and Thar Express stand cancelled, but Maitri Express and Bandhan Express between India and Bangladesh commute on a regular basis. On 22 March 2020, for the first time in history, Indian Railways shut down passenger rail service to combat the COVID-19 pandemic in India. No passenger train operated between 23rd March till 1st May in the whole country. This was the first time in 167 years of Indian Railways that passengers could not travel in trains. The closest standstill that happened before was the 1974 Indian Railway strike, which lasted for 20 days, although some passenger trains still operated during the strike. While no passenger trains operated during COVID-19 shutdown of railways, freight trains still functioned as normal. In the financial year of 2018, Indian Railways carried a total of 844 crore passengers, which on an average equals to 2.3 crore or 23 million daily passengers, which is almost equal to the complete population of the continent of Australia. For the financial year 2020, the operating ratio of Indian Railways was 98.41%, which was one of the worst margins for Indian Railways. In simple terms, Indian Railways spent Rs 98.41 for earning Rs 100, basically earning a profit of 1.59 rupees per 100 rupees spent. Most of us know that the first passenger train in India ran between Bombay and Thane on 16th April 1853, but the first train in India was a goods train that ran from Red Hills to Chintadripet Bridge in Madras in 1837. The 20-kilometer railway line was primarily used to transport laterite stone for road building work in Madras. Coming back to the first passenger train in India, the Bombay-Thane train first ran on 16th April 1853, had 14 carriages and was hauled by 3 steam locomotives, the Sahib, Sindh and Sultan, on a 5-foot 6-inch broad gauge track. It travelled for 34 km, carrying 400 people from Bombay's Boribandar railway station to Thane railway station. Boribandar railway station was closed and demolished 25 years later in 1878 to pave way for a new railway station, which was finally opened in 1888 and named Victoria Terminus, which is now called as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus. Indian Railways is the 4th largest railway network in the world by size, with a route length of 68,155 km as of March 2019. 40,576 km or 64% of all the broad gauge routes are electrified. Indian Railways carried 844 crore passengers and transported 123 crore tons of freight in 2018 and runs 13,523 passenger trains daily on both long distance and suburban routes, covering 7,321 stations across India. In the freight segment, Indian Railway runs more than 9,146 trains daily. As of March 2019, Indian Railways rolling stock consisted of 2,89,185 freight wagons, 74,003 passenger coaches, and 12,147 locomotives. The fastest train as of 2020 is Gatiman Express, reaching operational speeds of 160 km/h, although the Vande Bharat Express, which can reach speeds up to 180 km/h, operation speed is currently limited to 130 km/h. The slowest train in India is the Mettupalayam Ooty passenger with speed as low as 10 km/h. The longest train route is covered by Dibrugarh-Kanyakumari Vivek Express, which covers a distance of 4,218.6 km in 80 hours from Dibrugarh in Assam to Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. The shortest train service was DEMU service between Ernakulam Junction and Cochin Harbour Terminus, which covered only 9 km. The current shortest service is a shuttle service between Conch and 8th in Bundelkhand, which covers a distance of 13.68 km. Puratchi Thalaivar, Dr. M.G. Ramchandran Central Railway Station. The new name for Chennai Central is the longest name for a railway station in India, and Eeb in Odisha is the shortest station name. Gorakhpur Junction Railway Station has the world's longest railway platform with a length of 1,366.33 meters, whereas there are still many railway stations that are yet to have a platform.